take quite a few statistical anomalies for either of them to make the top 8 with a win, though of course it's the World Championship, so you're going to give it the try and then pray that maybe things work out in that statistical anomaly.
So a very exciting final round, is it fair to say, Monty?
The fact that we have 3 slots up for grabs, 5 matches being played for them, and so many Hall of Famers, so many World's runner-ups in the past. This is incredible.
And former world champion.
I'm so excited.
More than one?
I'm so excited.
Let's take a look at who will be watching first in our feature match area here for the final round on day 2. Kai Budde versus Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, Demir midrange versus Gruel Prowess. Kai Budde, the best to ever play the game. That's why we call him the GOAT. Heck, we named the Player of the Year trophy after him because he won it 4 times, 12 top finishes, 7 major titles. I could go on. Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, 7 top finishes for Jean-Emmanuel. Won the World Championship last year. Could go back to back. Our undefeated overnight tournament leader has had a rough day too, but could pull it out here. All right, those are the players. Talk to me about the matchup, Monty.
Okay, we are going to start by taking a look at Kai Budde's deck. We've seen it quite a bit already. We've talked about it, but this deck is nice. Team Channel Fireball Ultimate Guard brought this deck, at least some of their members did, and it is a true mid-range deck. We see some creatures, we see a lot of disruption, but what I really love about this deck is its ability to get on the board early and then start leaving up a multitude of answers and threats at the same time. Enduring Curiosity is the big headlining piece of this deck. This is the card that brings it all together, and I think if Kai can just cobble together some removal spells, of which he has many, he might just be okay. On the other side, Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, he is one of 3 players that brought the Leyline of Resonance version of Gruel Prowess. A lot of people thought this was going to be the deck to be afraid of earlier on in the tournament. Earlier on in the format, but coming into the tournament, most people opted to move away from the Leyline of Resonance version. Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, well, he thinks they're all wrong. He says Leyline of Resonance is the most broken card in Standard. And to his credit, he has not lost that much in Standard. We see the 9-4 record for Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, but that's partly because he started 0-3 in draft today. In Standard, he's lost a grand total of 1 match, and that Leyline does a lot of work to go with all of these cheap pump spells to create really explosive wins as early as turn 2.
Wow, great look at the decks there, Monty. Who do you think is going to take this one?
I think the name of the game here is removal. Kai has a lot of it, and I think they built this deck partially with Gruel in mind. So I'm going to give the edge to Kai. I think that Reed was talking about how he loves the extremes for this deck. The aggros and the hard controls. He doesn't want to play against mid-range. Well, this is as aggro as it gets.
All right, everyone. Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, your 2023 world champion. Are we going to stay in 2023 and go back-to-back, or are we going to party like it's 1999, because that's when Kai Budde was world champion? We'll find out. Take it away, Alien Corey.
Thank you so much, Maria. We are sitting here sweating and stressing for both of these players because, I mean, how do you pick one of them to make it through? This is going to be heartbreaking for someone and absolutely phenomenal for the other player that makes it in. And 2 of the greatest players, the best there is, the best there was, the best there'll ever be in Kai Budde, and the reigning world champion in JED. This is going to be one heck of a game of Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And this matchup's really close statistically that we've seen so far. And as far as just, you know, what these players want to play against, it is a very, very close matchup. I think the big difference is going to be right here with the pregame actions. If Jean-Emmanuel has the Leyline to get it started, huge advantage. If not, which I don't think we see it right now, then I would put that advantage to Kai until I see a mull to 5.
Oh, man. That is rough. Kai on the play here, mull to 5. Spyglass Siren to kick things off. Map token. And Jean-Emmanuel Depraz has a decent looking hand. Fair Magic.
Yep.
With the Cacophony Scamp to kick things off for him.
So Kai doesn't have land 2, so he really wants to top deck that to be able to have the bat as some interaction. Worst case scenario, you do the map, try to find a land, but oof.
That's a kitty. That's going in the bin.
Assume we didn't top deck a land, otherwise you would have just wanted to jam it. So could be a bit of a rough game here. He actually did top deck a land, but it's a tap land.
All right. So Siren on blocking duty against this Cacophony Scamp.
Yeah, and I did see Kai sent out a tweet after the first day, and it was just like, yeah, you know, it just looked like I didn't want to play this type of really aggressive deck like Gruul, and after his kind of medium day one, he's like, I should have just played Gruul. So we'll see. He's in, of course, a much better situation now after winning a lot of matches in a row.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he finished the day on 4-3, I believe. Day one.
Yep, 4-3, and has been XO up
Yeah.
until playing against Marcio last round in that Winnerton. So
That was a nail biter for
it
sure.
was a great match.
Jeez. Cacophony Scamp getting in here, and Spyglass Siren's going to jump in the way, but there is not dead after all. Or, excuse me.
Turn inside out.
That's the one.
There you go, there you go. And Jean-Emmanuel Depraz did just draw the ley line, so kind of the, you know, the cost
Yeah.
to playing these ley lines. They're amazing in your opening hand, but when it's the 8th card, it looks a lot worse, as most of the time you just can't cast it.
If you're casting that in a game of Magic, then something's gone a little awry.
Yeah, then he's probably flooding out, because they don't play that many lands.
So there is another Cacophony Scamp to join the Manifest creature, and there's a Deep Cavern Bats to take a look in the hand there. It sees the Monstrous Rage, a land, a ley line, and a Heartfire Hero.
A little bit of a shrug. You'd be like, Jean-Emmanuel, did you forget to put that ley line into play, or did you get a little unlucky and just top deck it?
Yeah. It's always rough when you draw, you know, sometimes back-to-back ley lines, and you're just like, this is not what I need right now.
Of course, yeah, that's kind of the train wreck scenario. I will be very interested. Something that we have seen from JED earlier is up against these matchups that have a ton of interaction. He actually sides the ley lines out, and I think this deck that Kai is playing definitely meets the requirements for that. So it will be interesting to see if he does that post-board.
Kai Budde needs land 3 here pretty desperately. The only playable in hand at the moment would be a Ninjutsu'd Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, if he is able to find that. But for now, it's just a swing in here, and we're going to see the Cacophony Scamp exploded upon combat damage and taking care of that Deep Cavern Bat.
Yep, deals damage to any target. Kai's like, oh, that's how it works, huh? That's too bad. As it just means no matter what, the bat is going to die.
Yeah.
And now, no matter what, Kai does not have a great play.
Nothing to go do here on turn 3. Do we find a land?
Drew a cut down, so has something to play. But now Monstrous Rage is face up, which can just negate anything. He will have the opportunity to do it right now, and he will have to.
1/2 flying, +2/+0.
Which is the bigger threat here? You gotta think it's the mouse, right?
I don't know. It's tough. I think I would probably kill the Slick Shot, but I'm with you. You know, I mean,
there'll be a 7-2 flying in or 7-3 flying in.
With the Monstrous Rage.
Yeah.
6
and
power coming in.
whatever else he top decks.
No matter what, he has to do it now, as any pump spell negates this.
Yeah.
Too hard to not kill that.
The mouse would be 1, 2, 5.
Yeah, gets the Valiant trigger +3, so yeah, would have 5 power as well. Now Overprotect is a great addition.
Is that just lethal? That's +3/+3.
No.
No, not yet.
But he does have the option to play a land and just play the ley line and then start comboing off next turn. But then you are shields down.
Yeah, keep the Overprotect, just make this little guy a little bigger, gets a monster roll, gets the trample, and swings in here for 5 damage. So down to 7 goes Kai. And next turn, we need a piece of removal here for Kai. There's a Deep Cavern Bat.
So that's one of the few things that can actually keep Kai alive, as he's going to see the news that Leyline and Overprotect are here. So you don't really want to fire off Overprotect or anything. So I would imagine we're just going to see this resolve, but we'll see what JED does.
It's an extra counter on the mouse.
That's true. That is true. And then you get the Leyline taken.
Yeah, and the Leyline's not really doing anything all that much.
It does make it a 2-turn clock. And JD doesn't have a lot of ways to actually remove the bat, so you're right, this is closer than it seems.
JD's doing math once again, so it looks like he's going to fire off the overprotect here. Target the mouse, get the counter.
All right, +1/+1. There you go.
+1/+1. There you go, says Kai.
2 mana +1/+1. That card's busted, man. Has other uses too, but going to swing in there. Down to 3 goes Kai.
Yep, and the bat will gain 1 life, but that's not enough. But if he top decks a land and he can stun it down with Kaido, this would be huge. I think that was a land, but was it an untapped land?
That is the question. It's a
No!
restless wave. It's a tapped land. You silly library. How dare you?
The Kaito would have been
That would have been
unbelievable there.
sick. But yeah, another haste creature. That's going to do it for game 1. Kai on a multi 5. You know, there's not much you can do in that situation, especially if the cool deck just draws cards, you know.
Very interesting. We do see the ley lines left in, and Jean-Emmanuel will have the ability to put it into play this turn.
Nice. Okay, so now we're going to see some fireworks.
It's 5 cards now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you do start with 1 less card, so it's kind of like a double mulligan, but of course you get caught up so quickly. And he drew a ley line off the top again. How unlucky.
I wonder if we shave any. Or if we just like, yeah, keep them all 4 in, so make sure I get it.
Yeah, it's a tough card to shave because, you know, of course, you keep 1, you just draw 1 in your opener. That would be the ideal scenario, but your odds of doing so are so low.
Duress in hand here for Kai. Also the Spyglass Siren and a cut down. So where do we go from here for the German Juggernaut?
Yeah, so I think I would probably like to Duress and then Siren Tamer, just to make sure the hand isn't too great. And they share a chuckle as another ley line was top decked.
Turn inside out. Ley line, the only 2 options. Can't take away the creature there. And I'm sure Kai might love to take that instead. Questing Druid.
Oh, you can keep that
Seek the
later.
Beast.
Yeah, Seek the Beast is going to be excellent. Just waiting for Kai's end step, being able to then pseudo draw a couple of cards, but still has to find green mana if you want to play Questing Druid. There you go. A way to make it so it's uncounterable, as you just have to wait till your end step. It's a much better sequence there. And finds 1 land plus a creature, kind of
pretty good.
ideal.
Yeah. 1/9 creature, overprotect the draw. Leyline of Resonance, probably not going to see cost unless things get really, really sticky. And Questing Druid, Seek the Beast in hand too.
And most importantly, Kai has the ability to just do anything this turn, has the bat plus cut down, and then next turn, Shieldred to start really pushing the advantage, have a very quick clock while simultaneously gaining 2 life a turn. Maybe more. If you can combine Shieldred with Enduring Curiosity, if Kai left that in, you get to draw a ton of cards and gain a ton of life.
That is brutal.
Definitely.
Aren't cats great?
Yeah.
What a good kitty. Overprotect is going to be the choice there for the Deep Cavern Bat. And for turn, in for 1. First Blood, yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Cards in hand, 3 cards.
And doesn't crack the map, so JD will probably pick up on that there is a piece of removal, and there's only 1 card it could be, so if JD is paying attention, which he always is,
Oh, for sure.
we'll know that cut down is in the hand.
See. Druid first into the Heartfire Hero, get a counter on the Druid.
So Kai is gonna want to cut down this turn as he has land 4 and Shieldred. If he's gonna do it, he wants to do it now so he can slam the powerful creature.
Which critter is the biggest problem here?
You know, I think it's probably the mouse, but they're pretty close when the
Yeah.
Druid already has a counter on it.
Yeah. Well, JD is tapped down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No other spell is like a surprise gotcha, so cut
Yeah.
down is still a valid.
The mouse is always terrifying. Because
Oh, yeah.
there is the one cell sword in there that you can kind of combo off with, and there is the curiosity off the top.
Oh, let's draw some cards. I like this, because Shieldred next turn, if there's no piece of removal from JED, this is just going to be pretty much a landslide. At this
If it's
point.
up to JD, there won't be a next turn, but he doesn't really have it set up so far, as there is just creatures and the ley line, which
Yeah.
is basically blank right
No targeted spells. I mean, Seek the Beast could find something.
Yeah, it's always brutal to play it on your main phase because you just have the chance, like if you just hit 2 questing druids, for instance, you just pay 2 mana to do nothing.
Yeah, it's rough.
So if you can help it, you don't want to do that, but it is starting to look like a situation where JD has to find one of the pump spells. Might of the Week, being able to seek the beast into Might of the Week would be great, or Monstrous Rage, something to get this party going.
Yeah, I want to see some fireworks, man. Leon Resonance is very, very good at doing that, but as such, I don't think we've seen a single targeted spell, barring the turn inside out.
So Kai has a Gix command in hand as well, so that can be an absolute game ender. We saw, Seth take it down, lock up his spot in the top 8 here, thanks to the powerful card. Being able to put a couple counters on a creature, gain lifelink, that's already great.
Yeah.
And then either make your opponent sacrifice a creature or destroy all their tiny creatures, whatever mode fits you best, are devastating. Both of those effects are devastating, and Kai gets 2 of them.
Gix's command is certainly brutal. 4 options, pick your favorite 2.
Yeah, it never happens when that card gets cast and you're like, oh, that was okay. It's like, no, the game completely ended.
Yeah. That's what we saw earlier in the 2 rounds ago.
Exactly. Yeah, I like this. You got to take the risk here.
Green?
Okay,
there's one. All right.
Guy says, I don't like that with the first card. But he is going to like the fact that there is no 4th land.
Yeah. Yes. Turn inside out twice.
Yup.
So the mouse is the right way around, therefore.
So if you cast that,
So it's plus 6, 7. So it's 8 damage.
It would be 8 damage, yep.
You see a cat get in the way here? I don't think so.
So Kai's just
Children
doing the
coming out?
math. Is there any combination that you could kill me? And I think he's going to come to the conclusion that no.
Well,
I guess
burn
just-
together would get it done.
Yep. So playing around the one of.
No blocks.
Is he gonna risk it? No blocks. Pump.
8. Puts me at 12.
Now this Gix command
Oh, yeah,
should
no.
pretty much close the door.
Yeah, you gotta think so, right? Pump up the bat.
Yeah, it looks like he's not even going for it. Duress, take a
Okay.
look at the hand, and then just Shield Druid gain 6 life.
Ew.
Plenty reasonable here.
That's pretty gross.
Stick shots.
Yeah, Shield Druid and Gix command actually gain equal amount of life right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
But it's just, does your opponent have a creature in play this turn? I think if Kai knew JD's hand was 2 creatures there, and the Duress only took kind of a blank ley line, he might have went with the Gix, but
Yeah.
pretty close either way.
Gross.
13. And then I
So
draw 3
up to
cards.
19.
Shield triggers
Yep,
sometimes.
going up to 19.
3 cards. Seems good. Oh, the bat's got lifelink too. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Tidebender, Gix's command, and 1 on the card, 2 lands.
All right, I think this has to
Alrighty.
start with something like a Might of the Week to just get going. There was a Monstrous Rage. Okay, so the double striking mouse can come into play. Give
Mana
double
full
strike,
mouse.
and then Monstrous Rage. I don't think that would be enough, but let's see.
I'm gonna target the mouse, give a double strike, swings in, can
Okay,
take
so
care of
yes,
Shield
3,
Druid.
3, double strike.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Just
8.
monstrous rage,
This looks like
becomes-
16 damage to me.
No. Plus 3 is the biggest.
So I think it's
increment.
actually
6,
much scarier if
12.
Kai does block, because you would take the trample damage and then you would take the damage from it dying. So I think Kai will probably come to the conclusion that he shouldn't block.
All right, that's gonna do it. So we lock things up here, friends. Both of these players, both incredible at this game. They are at 9 and 4, playing for a spot in the top 8. This is the game that decides it all. Let's see what's in this opening hand.
The final game for one of these players, and for sure the final game for the other player, but a much happier ending, as this looks to be about as clean of a win and in as it gets.
Duress to kick things off here for Kai. Cacophony Scamp on the board, and the only valid target looks like is the turn inside out.
That's a lot of lands there from JD. That is not ideal by any means. And it's really interesting, most of the time when you have Duress in your main deck or your sideboard, it does not come in against the very aggressive red deck, but these Gruul Prowess decks are built in such a combo-esque way that breaking up one of these spells is actually really, really strong.
Very powerful indeed, and just getting the information about, okay, what do I need to be prepared for next turn, you know, to determine, okay, right, sure, let's fire up the removal spell now or later. Draw here for Kai. Has a go for the throat in hand.
Yep, dealing
Take care of the bigger creature.
And now Kai's hand is really bad as well, so this is really going to come down to who draws out of this, as Kai has two, you know, Dimir tap lands there, Dimir guild gates, basically, and then just an Enduring Curiosity. So if Kai can find a play for next turn so he can curve out into this Curiosity, it would be great, but if he just goes land go here with no way to interact, it is very bad. Well, JD proceeds to draw lands as well. Wow, both players are drawing terribly.
Ugh. All right. Reef down on the board, pass the turn back. No proactive play here or reactive play for Kai. Next turn, though, we can see the Enduring Curiosity flashed in.
Yep.
Overprotect and Monstrous Rage. That's very good for JD.
Not bad at all. So Monstrous Rage bumps that up to 4 power. Overprotect bumps it up to 7.
Explode it.
You can sacrifice it. Yeah, wow. He doesn't know that there's not a removal spell, though, and every time we've seen JED on camera, he's played very conservatively in the face of open mana. And since this isn't lethal as well, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes Monstrous Rage.
Yeah.
And that's
for
it.
sure, and then just protect it for the next time.
Exactly. Overprotect it, really.
Overprotect, yeah. He's one of those helicopter parents.
There you go, there you go. So doesn't go for anything here.
Just gonna play it cool. Plays a land, passes the turn back.
Yeah, JD would really love something like a Seek the Beast to be able to gain some extra cards.
Cut down.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a something for Kai.
Not bad. Cut down against these prowess decks, though, sometimes
rough,
just
huh?
looks terrible. Like, early game, of course, turn 2.
Oh,
oh.
Corey.
This could be the last turn of the game.
I think this would be lethal then. If Kai goes for the removal spell, he won't have a blocker.
Yeah, and the thing is JED can preemptively start with one of these protection spells.
Yeah.
So if Jean-Emmanuel goes for this, he has it. Which, with 2 protection spells, it's hard to not want to.
Do you think Kai then buys into that, though? Because that's a bait, right?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Kai's hand is forced. The only thing that JED would be playing around is 2 pieces of interaction.
Yeah.
And then Kai could actually do something about it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, if he thinks that JD has multiple spells, and he starts with, which he's not going to, the protection spell, then just wait to see what else he piles on, then chuck the blocker in the way and maybe survive. But here we're just going to see Monstrous Rage on the Cacophony Scamp.
Yeah, I don't even think the blocker would be enough either. I don't think either of the avenue Kai would take here is good enough as long as Jean-Emmanuel just plays his spells here.
Yeah.
Okay, JD didn't go for it.
Wow.
Conservative here.
Cool, cool. Cut down.
Okay.
Jeez.
Another cut down here actually interacts with this. This could have been Jean-Emmanuel playing too conservatively and actually letting Kai back into this game, because now the 2 cut downs does stop this.
Yeah. Because respond to the first one, the second one comes out, then boom, boom, cut down, cut down.
Exactly. JED has to be the aggressor here in the sense where he has to blink first. Like, he can, of course, just keep saying, hey, take 2, take 2, take 2, and that's fine, but...
You know, the longer you give Kai, though, he's going to find life gain in the form of Shieldred and just extra cards off of the Enduring Curiosity. So.
And he's drawing 2 cards a turn. He has the Fountain Point to make another fish. So Jean-Emmanuel Depraz's window might have closed there by taking it a little too conservatively. Wow. He was just thinking, there's no way your hand is that bad, and it just was that bad.
That is brutal. JED now having a big think about this turn. How does he approach this combat step? How does he kill Kai Budde here? Play around whatever removal he expects to be in hand.
Yep.
And now with the Fountain Port to consider as well.
Yeah, I mean, if JD has perfect information, he would say attack, take 2, pass. That's all he can do. Yeah. But if Kai blinks first here, JD will win. Blinks first as in casts a cut down. If he like makes a fish to block, actually, he would still end up losing. So if Kai does anything besides says no blocks here, JD's in the top 8.
So he needs to do damage to me, and then you can sacrifice him, right?
Yes. Combat damage. If it doesn't die, you don't take an extra boon. But he's got trample, right? So.
Yeah, it does have trample thanks to the roll from Monstrous Rage. Tense moment.
So either way, he'd be able to sacrifice it.
Yep, no matter what, it will trample over.
Overprotect will give it trample, so over trample.
Say, no blocks, perfect. That's exactly what Kai had to say to stay alive. And now, if Jean-Emmanuel blinks first here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So this is a really tough spot for both players.
Good grief.
Try to
Overprotect.
I'll try to cut down.
Kai's going to
And now JD has to Snakeskin Veil, and then Kai has the other cut down for it.
Jeez.
This is not working out for Jean-Emmanuel. This is huge for the German Juggernaut.
Yeah, because JD has nothing
Yeah.
after this.
Kai's gonna take 2. This game really imploded for JED
It sure
so
did.
quickly.
Because look at all the utility lands now that Kai has access to. He's got the Reef to just get in for 4. He's got the Fountain Port to get extra value, make extra blockers. He's going to try again.
Yep, and it's not going to work.
In response,
Cut down again.
cut down number 2. And that is going to take care of the Cacophony Scamp. There's nothing else that JED can do. Only has a Mountain in hand, but he's not going to let Kai Budde know that.
Yep.
That resolves. Here, take 2.
So he's going to take 2, and now, yeah, you're right. It's the fact that, yeah, he has the land, he has all this stuff going on, but the main thing is there's no creature for JED, there's no pump spell, so JED doesn't have like one amazing draw.
He's hellbent.
Questing Druid is the best possible.
I think I bet.
Jeez.
So you went
JED
first.
just said, I think I messed up, and
I-
yep.
You have a Mr. Land drop, so you should have a land to play,
be able to
but it's other for your land there you go.
Yeah. Land for turn, untap with the Enduring Curiosity. We're just going to get some lands in now. 8 damage coming in. Mill.
And now that JED went for this, the door is open for the Reef to get in there. Otherwise, you know, Kai could have just never tapped out. He would have always had to represent the thing. So what a wild sequence of events.
Unbelievable. JED, of course, our overnight leader at 7-0, our defending world champion.
Look at
I
Kai's hand.
think he's about to fall to former world champion himself, Kai Budde.
Yep, it is going to be something that JD is going to watch back for sure as a moment where he had it if he went for it on that Curiosity turn.
Yeah. Slick shot show off as a blocker here.
Chump blocker.
Chump blocker is not what you want to see. And
That's it.
That's going to do it. That is enough for Kai Budde, German Juggernaut, to lock up another top 8 at a World Championship. Unbelievable stuff there. That game was crazy, Corey.
Absolutely crazy. You know, I mean, Kai just definitely did what he had to do. He had to Hollywood it a bit and be like, yeah, my hand's not 5 lands, I swear. And he kind of gave the look to JD at the end when he revealed his hands like, it was quite bad, but huge congrats to the German Juggernaut. Always amazing to see him do well, and condolences to JD.
Condolences indeed. Just a reminder, friends, and a correction from my part, not locked just yet.
Not
because
locked,
there
nope.
are 10 other players still trying to duke it out, and we have to see how those break. So, fingers crossed for the German Juggernaut.
looking
that He
good.
does make it, yeah.
It's
Looking very good indeed. We're going to be right back after the break with Shota Yasooka versus Lucas Duchow. Welcome back to coverage of World Championship 30 here in the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We got some sparkly things here too, Corey. The trophy that we are ready almost. We're just like itching to give it to somebody. But that's only going to happen tomorrow. We still need to find our other 3 top 8 players. Just a reminder to everyone, we've got Javier, Seth, Marcio, Ha, and Quinn in the top 8.
It's a good top 8 already.
It is, and we're just going to put even more cool people in it because the other players that are duking it out currently to make the top 8, you've probably heard about them.
I like the Duke It Out reference with our next one. That was a good one.
Totally unintentional. I mean, I'm very good at my job. Lucas Duchow, Gruul Prowess, Shota Yasooka on Azorius Oculus. Corey, to me, these 2 decks are the decks of the tournament.
I think you're totally right. Yeah, I think whatever iteration of Gruul that you had in mind, whether it be with ley lines or not, it still did good. It was the deck to beat, but this is definitely the spiciest new addition here with the Azorius Oculus, and 2 very scary opponents.
Indeed, indeed. Lucas Duchow, an absolute killer on Magic Online.
Duke 1-2, in case any of y'all have been losing to him over and over.
Probably have many, many times. Hardfire Hero, an excellent start here indeed. Followed up by our little, is that the Manifold Mouse?
It is, yep. It was.
It's dead now. Courtesy of, well, it's having a nap.
Yes.
Soul Partition, gonna make it a little bit more expensive. Lucas Duchow is up 1-0 currently, so if he can win this, he's in a very, very good spot to be in the top 8 as well.
Yep, and we see this Azorius Oculus deck from some of the big names, Shota and Ely. Shota's Game 1 deck against Gruul, so much better than Ely's version, mostly because of these soul partitions and some of the other pump spells, or excuse me, bounce spells that we have here. We have the dispersals. So he's much more ready to deal with these hyper-aggressive cards than some other iterations.
Yeah, I really like Afara's Dispersal, and that's just with the Surveil as well, being able to get threats into the graveyard while taking care of an attacking creature. Like, that's so sweet.
But the Snakeskin Veil protecting this mouse here was huge. Shota's really up against it, and he's main phasing a Charter Course, but here is the helping hand to at least put something on the battlefield. But there's a solid chance, Ailey, that he just doesn't untap, that he ends his tournament right here, as we're untapping with 2 of the Deadly Mice. One to give double strike. If there's a lot of pump spells, which I saw a few from Lucas, it looks very scary for Shota.
Manifold Mouse going to be able to target the Heartfire Hero, getting a counter on that. 3 open mana. The world is Lucas's oyster right now, so let's see if Shota has an Afara's Dispersal for one of these creatures. That would be great.
I think he does. I think I did see one in his hand.
Okay, we're going to block there. Let's see what Lucas has here.
I saw a 1 pump spell, but it looks like he held it. I saw Might of the Meek, I believe.
Okay, another Heartfire Hero down.
Okay, nice.
Paw Patch Formation takes care of the Oculus, so no extra value there for Shota Yasooka.
That was just a 4 of that this team decided to play as well. Like, such a very versatile sideboard card with the Paw Patch Formation. Yeah, it's really nice. I love the art, too.
It's a great addition, yeah. With the amount of flyers at the moment and enchantments with, like, the Overlords and the annexes and you know, all that stuff, the rooms, everything from Duskmourn can die to Paw Patch Formation.
And the fact that you can just cycle it away if you draw 2 of them or something, a very versatile, amazing sideboard card. Don't need Naturalize anymore. It's just a strict upgrade.
There's Afara's Dispersal that's going to bounce one of these threatening Heartfire Heroes, so we're going to get a Monk token off of the Monastery Mentor too.
Yep, absolutely. And Shota did have to do this proactively, which is kind of brutal. You really want to wait until Lucas fires off a bunch of pump spells, and then you get good value off of it.
Yeah.
So I had to do this before blockers to then pump this up to a big creature. And now here is the fireworks.
There's Might of the Meek.
And we don't know exactly what got double strike there, so we'll see how much damage Shota does take, and took a big hit there.
Yowza, but that does take care of the Manifold Mouse. So thank you, Extra Blocker and Prowess. Hey, more Mentors. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Oh, this is getting interesting.
Yeah, Lucas has to have a nice follow-up, and I think I only see 1 card there. So I don't know if 1 card's enough. He might need to string together a couple of things.
Into the Floodmaw. Do we have a creature? Nope, we don't. So there's another Manifest that won't be popping up to go, hello.
And Screaming Nemesis and another 1-drop there, plus a Carplusion Forest. So not looking great here for Lucas Duchow to close this game out. And any Shota fan, which there are many, looks like we might have ourselves another game.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Lucas does have the ability to play that other Manifold Mouse for a little bit extra. You know, that does cost 2 extra on top of the Offspring, so you could, of course, play it for 6.
The Offspring cards are so great. When games go long, you know, just making the decks a little bit more resilient.
Yeah.
Getting some extra value off of the, otherwise, you know, just kind of okay cards.
Yep. Give him a bit of a boost. So blocking the Screaming Nemesis, which is always scary. Now that does kind of turn on that secret ability that no more gaining life allowed. I don't know if Shota has a ton of ways to gain life anyways, but not anymore.
I don't think so, but even if he wanted to, no.
Not allowed.
Not allowed, nope. All right, moment of truth. More monks. Founding.
There's a helping hand.
And chart a course.
Is there another big threat for Shota to push his advantage even further?
I mean, let's find out.
Yeah, the helping hand goes to the yard, so I'm going to guess not.
Okie dokie.
But still looking great here for Shota regardless.
One thing you said to me previously is when this player starts swinging, you know that they are going to win.
Yep.
Is that something that we're about to see here?
It is definitely the case for this one, absolutely. And a reminder, these players are kind of the next bracket as far as the players that have the best chance to make it in. Nothing is going to be certain, but there's still a really solid chance. Each match that we start to watch gets worse and worse for their chances.
Yeah, where, you know, even some players at 9 and 4 just don't have a chance at all.
Yeah,
based on the breakers. But as things stand right now, Shota is in a very good spot. Has blockers in the way, and then just has to hope that Lucas doesn't draw the absolute nuts here to win this game.
And I mean, Shota did attack with a lot of things here. Only has 2 monks and a 2/2, a vanilla 2/2 here to block. You know, it's not absurd to think that Lucas can't close this out here, as here's a way to give something double strike.
Do we get trample
Or trample.
somehow?
If there's a monstrous rage, this could be all over here if Lucas top deck that. You give the mouse double strike and then you give it trample with the monstrous rage. That has to be enough.
That would definitely hurt. I would be so tempted to just be like, push everything in front of that mouse.
Yeah. I don't even think it would be enough.
Because what's he, 4 power currently?
4 power right
double
now,
strike.
presumably double strike, could be trample. If he doesn't have monstrous rage,
I think
it would maybe
Shota's-
be trample, but...
I think Shota's just like, I don't think you have it.
And at this point for Shota, he can't play around it. So
No.
he's got to think, okay, ignore that card. Well, what's the best way I can play around everything else?
Yeah, how do I win here?
Yeah, because Shota has to close this game out. Eventually, this battlefield will get it done, and he just has it.
Oh, he has it. Okay, Lucas Duchow had the monstrous rage. So much damage, double striking damage, getting in there. Lucas could be in another top 8 this year.
Unbelievable.
What a he's having.
Yeah, he just channeled the Magic Online showcase to a top 8 at OTJ to be able to make it to Worlds, and is now capitalizing that into a World Championship top 8. I just love, exactly. I just love seeing the online grinders that convert it into, you know, real results here at the highest level. Huge congrats to
Awesome.
Lucas.
We still have more Magic though, friends, so we're not done yet. Up next, we're going to take a look at Ili, Kassis, Yoshihiko, Ikawa, both at 9 and 4. Both going to be sweating it out for tiebreakers. Azorius Oculus, Gruul Prowess. Where have we seen this one before?
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see how this one ends and see if there's going to be any Oculus in the top 8 or if Gruul Prowess is just going to be dominating this last round.
Jeez. I mean, it will be. Let's see.
Yep.
Turn things sideways. Not Gruul. Then die. Or Gruul smash. Whatever the heck it is they say. They're angry.
And Ili's version, though, does have a really bad game 1 against these Gruul decks.
As we can see.
Exactly. It's definitely prioritizing beating the mid-range decks for game 1, and then has a good sideboard for it. So that was kind of the game that was really tough for him to win anyways.
Meticulous Archives, surveilling the verge into the yard to kick things off. Darker Wastes. So no fancy shenanigans, you know, turn 2 Oculus on the board or anything yet for Ili.
Yep.
There is our Emberheart Challenger.
And Yoshihiko Ikawa not playing the leyline version. It really is just Jean-Emmanuel Depraz at the highest tables that was playing that version. This is the more conservative list.
Thierry Rambeau and Brian Boss were the other two players?
I believe you're right, yep.
Yeah.
And Brian Boss, of course, that's his style. Always plays the all-in style
Love
decks with some mastery for sure.
Okay, what do we got in hand there? I've got a pole patch formation. Excuse me, pole patch formation to deal with the bird.
Yep, another player.
Oh, nice. He's playing the Hunter's Talent?
The talent, yeah.
Innkeeper's
the
Talent.
Innkeeper's
excuse me,
talent,
yeah.
yep. Another
So-
player playing the 4 paw patch formation in the board
Yeah.
from this Gruul deck.
Into the Flood Maw says no thank you. Please do not put any counters on that, but a follow-up there with another mouse to give it a counter ×2.
Ely got a little punished there. He said before combat wanted to bounce the other thing, and now this got to be boosted up there, so.
It's all right.
Doesn't matter if it's going to get wrathed away.
We'll just kill it. It's okay. Split up, an excellent addition to the board wipe category, shall we say.
Absolutely.
And if you're up against a super aggressive deck, just destroy all tap creatures.
Especially when you have a bunch of flyers, too, where you can attack with your creatures if you have them and then blow up untapped creatures. A lot of cool things that Ely can do here.
Offspring!
All right, this is scary
That's
for
cool.
Kassis.
Manifold Mouse hitting the board with its little baby. It's take your child to work day.
All right, so looks like this is just helping hand and pass to get a creature in play. We'll see if Ely has any way to interact because, well,
It's gonna need
Yoshihiko,
it. Ooh,
gonna
scorching
need it
shot.
as Ikawa has a bunch of cards in hand and a really formidable battlefield already. So Ely's going to need some help, but of course, manifesting, this could be a big creature under there as well. This could be another Oculus.
Well, we're going to find out.
So gets both pumped, both trample and double strike, plus being pumped. So this is 8 damage coming in already and a near impossible card to block.
Yeah. If it was an Oculus, it would kill it, but it would still hurt a bunch.
And it
It
is.
is an Oculus, but Paw Patch Formation is going to take care of that. So, damn, Yoshihiko Ikawa has got 0 chill right now.
Yeah.
Try and take Ely Kassis out.
And Ely's sideboard of choice, the kind of card that's an anti-aggro card, is 4 Elspeth Smite. Deals 3 damage, and 3 is not 4. So really tough to deal with any of the creatures on Ikawa's side right now.
That is rough. Got a fancy Oculus on the board here.
Yeah, and we'll see if there's a third piece of removal for the powerful flyer, or if it's even needed. Like at this point, Ikawa can go trample double strike to the 4/4, pump it up with the Innkeeper's Talent, and it has a 5/5 trample double strike. And Ely's blocks are really bad once you get that thing up to 5 power.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you need something like an Forest Dispersal, which I don't think we're running any of.
Nope, he's not running
into
that.
the Flood Maw.
Yeah, yep, but
Well, if he's
not
running
as spicy of tech as Shota did have.
What do you mean? You can gift a fish.
That's true. And surface value, Ikawa can go to level 3 on the Innkeeper's Talent and put 2 counters on it. Not the most efficient way. You don't see that a ton.
But hey, at least it's something to do with your mana. When you're a little hell-bent, but things looking pretty good here so far. Emberheart Challenger is going to get targeted and exile a card there for Yoshihiko.
So this is something Ely's going to pick up on. Ikawa had the option to make this a 5-power double striker, so you got to think that there's something that Ikawa has here.
Oh, okay. Elspeth Smite ×2.
Double smite.
Jeez. Get out of here.
Impressive.
Goodness me.
Just a really tight play by Ikawa with double smite, being able to diversify your threats there a little bit.
So still 2 mice on the board. A ticking talent. Oh my goodness. And double Monastery Swift Spears now. Where is he got another one of those split ups?
Yeah, right?
Jeez. He's going to need it at this rate because that is brutal. I think he may well have it. Nope.
Yeah, it was also interesting because that Innkeeper's Talent was at level... Oh, it wasn't at quite level 2. I was going to
Not
say,
yet, no.
you could have had Ward there if we would have did that preemptively to prevent the double smite.
Alrighty, another Manifold Mouse, along with its little kiddo.
Going really
Look at this
wide on
board,
Ely.
jeez.
Now, this is where he would love to find another one of the split ups.
Does he have any others?
Doesn't? Yeah, he might have a couple.
As it stands right now, this is not looking good here for Ely, Kassis, Yoshihiko, Ikawa.
Hey, he's one more split up in the 75.
Alrighty. Yoshihiko will know about that. Into the Flood Maw is going to bounce that mouse back to hand. Get a creature.
Split up could be great, but it's going to be tough for Ely to turn all his creatures sideways to only get a Wrath on Ikawa's side. So
Yeah. Well, our big ol' Oculus can get in there. For 5. Turn passes back. Jeez, like, this is a mess.
yeah, this is a mess. Usually you don't see these kind of battlefields in this matchup. It's usually 1 or 2 creatures with Gruul kind of going the distance, and kind of the same from Ely's Oculus deck.
You know, all in on one critter, go tall, not wide, but both
Yep.
players doing an excellent job of, as you said, diversifying their threats.
Definitely.
All right, Mouse, what you got, bud?
So many mice.
Jeez. It's an infestation. It's a plague. Here we go. Emberheart Challenger once again, up to
Hey.
level 3. Now we're going to get double counters on things. Yeehaw.
Yep, double counters, but that also shows Ely that I'm not sure if Ikawa has any cards in hand, but regardless, even if he does, that there's no pump spells really available. And Ikawa says, I have to start attacking as this Oculus will finish the game off. And the game could be over next turn if one of those manifests is a Huadijin. We see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells in the yard. So Huadijin plus Oculus next turn is just GG if one of those 3 manifests is the powerful creature.
I think we're going to find out on the end step here after blocks. So one of these little monks is going to jump in the way here of a mouse.
He's taking a look. He's like, what's behind door number 1, 2, or 3?
I can never remember which one's which.
Yeah. That's got to mean that one of them is something, or he's like, man, I wish this was a Jin. I wish this was a Jin.
Only. Maybe if I look again, it'll be
Yeah,
a this time.
maybe they'll change.
Wow. Okay, what you got there, Ely?
Okay. So this leads me to believe that it is not any of the flyers underneath. Otherwise, you know, you just flip it up, you show them that you got the win. So
Yeah.
I would assume those are 3 blanks.
Land spell. Let's imagine. Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah, and we don't exactly know how much double strike and trample. So one of the creatures is going to have double strike and trample, and the other one is going to have either double strike or trample, with 3 activations from the mice.
I'm going to assume that the Emberheart Challenger has trample.
Yeah.
Just based on the
think
number of
right,
things
yeah.
that Ely's chucking in front of it. Because, yeah, no mana open right now, right, for Yoshihiko?
Yeah.
So, no...
So all the manifests died, it looks like.
Yeah.
Just all those creatures died.
good grief.
All right, now is a perfect time for split up number 2, because he could attack
Split
with
up,
that
split it up.
Oculus.
Yes. We're going to get a game 3 here, Ely. All right.
This is digging for it.
Dig,
If he doesn't have it.
Recommission helping hand. No.
Right.
Okay. Recommission will get a something back, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for this nonsense going on here on Yoshihiko's side of things.
I think we'll know. If Ely attacks, he has it. If not, I don't think he can attack.
Recommission. Get an Oculus back. We get 2 more blockers off of these guys.
Yep. 5 blockers now.
Okay. All right. He's doing a good job. He's gumming up this battlefield.
Okay, he still feels good enough to get in there for 5, making it so Ikawa has to have something. I think he's hellbent. So this could easily come down to if Ikawa draws any pump spell, wins the game. If he doesn't, game 3.
Let's see how quickly he goes to combat. I think that'll tell us.
Looks like he does have 2 cards, so he did have 1 in hand off screen.
All right. Triggers. Pre-combats.
Here's the math.
Innkeeper's Talent.
It looks like a creature land. We don't always see those in the Gruul
We have
decks.
3 Manifold Mice.
Yep.
So we could have...
And that is a ridgeline, so that can animate.
Yeah. Becomes a dinosaur.
Yep, becomes a 3/4. That whenever it attacks, another creature gets +2/+0.
Oh, wow. Jeez, give that to the double striker. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, something's going to have trample and double strike.
Yeah.
So you could Innkeeper's Talent on a creature, give it trample and double strike, plus pump it from the land.
Jeez.
And the biggest creature would be the Manifold Mouse. That goes up to 4 power from the Valiant, 6 power from the Innkeepers, 8 power from the land, trample, double strike. That's 16 power from just that mouse to the left. So already you have to put 6 power in front of that, or 6 toughness in front of that. That's the Oculus. Then you have 3 other blockers that have to all get it done. I think this is Ikawa advancing.
Yeah, I
So,
think
well-
he's just mathing it out quickly just to make sure and
Yeah.
then turn things sideways and GG.
And these were actually the players with the best breakers, with the best chance of making it in.
Yeah?
Still nothing certain, of course.
Yeah, no, we'll... Yep, turn it sideways. Let's
Yep.
go. Everything into the red zone. Assigning everything, even the kitchen sink, to this here Heartfire hero.
So that's 16 power on its own. So that goes there.
And then just dies to the rest of it.
Maybe because it's
3.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 damage from the unblocked creature. So it's how much there? 16.
3, 4, 5. That's 8 blocked on that mouse.
So that should be 5 from that mouse. I think this is 11 exactly from my quick math, but I must be wrong if we're still alive. That was first strike damage.
Yeah,
and there it
that's
is. Yep.
Unbelievable. Goodness, that board state was ridiculous. Ely was probably just sitting there going, please, please, give me that board wipe. But Yoshihiko Ikawa,
Yep.
Pro Tour Thunder Junction champion, and possibly another top 8, friends. So,
Yep. Yep, absolutely. A couple of the OTJ people looking pretty solid in this. Who would have guessed the standard players that got here based on standard? Still pretty good at that format, huh?
yeah, not too shabby, not shabby at all. Congratulations, Yoshihiko. Super, super nice guy.
Such a nice guy.
Excellent player. It's great to see him pick up a win there, but again, we're still not sure, friends. So we're not going to say anything about who's in the top 8.
We're
Maria
building
and Mani
suspense.
and Cedric can figure that all out, and all the math whizzes in the back, Frank Carson, etc. Or just the machine. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Corey.
love building suspense. We can't just let you know, even if we knew, but.
Even if we didn't know, yes. But on that note, my friends, we are going to say adios for now, and we're going to send you back over to the news desk to find out shortly who is our top 8.
Thank you so much, Alien, Corey, Maria, and Mani here at the news desk. I mean, it feels like every single round today was utterly fantastic, Mani.
Just really great games of Magic and, you know, some really big names getting the job done in those rounds.
Yeah, and one of those big names getting the job done was none other than Kai Budde, who talked to Cedric after his big win last round.
A German juggernaut is bulldozing all over Las Vegas. Kai Budde is with me here in the feature match area after a huge win. Kai, let's talk prep first. You're obviously with a fantastic team, playing a Dimir mid-range deck in Standard and a fantastic record in Limited. What were your expectations coming in?
My expectation was, first of all, to have fun. So I retired early this month on the 1st of October. I played a lot of Magic in the past couple of weeks. The testing house is always great. Got to see a lot of friends. There's tons of people that I haven't met in decades at this MagicCon. So yeah, that was my first expectation. I thought our testing was good. Our constructed deck seemed fine. It didn't perform all that well overall, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping for like top 30 maybe. Obviously, if I get lucky, maybe top 8. I mean, who knows?
Well, it might require a little more luck. Tiebreakers are a crazy thing. You've been around long enough to know that. But any thought on after the win that you think you're good to go, you're not sure you're good to go? Just where's your head at there?
So there's 5 people that are locked into the top 8 due to getting 10 wins earlier in the tournament. And then there's 5 people that won this round and there's only 3 slots left in the top 8. I had good tiebreakers, and I beat someone like Jean-Emmanuel had better tiebreakers than me and was ahead in the standings, and I won. So it seems quite likely. I would say probably 90%-ish area, but it's not a lock.
It's not a lock, so we'll have to see how things do go. The German Juggernaut, another top 8. We'll find out soon.
Very, very, very exciting. Down to the wire here at World Championship 30. Mani, as we await the top 8 announcement, I got to ask you what you think. I know the tournament's not over, but what you think so far this weekend, kind of the headline story is of what we've seen so far.
I mean, where to begin? Both formats were awesome, but to me, the big thing is just consistency. Seeing a reigning world champion make a really deep run. We saw Simon Nielsen make a really deep run. We saw Seth Manfield, a proto-champion and world champion already, make it the first player into our top 8. He was locked. We're not sweating that one.
No.
We're sweating a lot right now, but we are not sweating that one.
No.
And as we just keep going, it's Javier Dominguez locks up his spot. He's a world champion.
2018.
We've only ever had one repeat world champion. That was a back-to-back, but in general, only one person has won the Magic the Gathering World Championship twice. So Seth and Javier in this top 8, that's already 2 people that have a chance to become the second person.
Wow, that is so
Now imagine
very
if Kai
exciting.
makes it.
I know.
That makes it 3.
It would be 3. Incredible, everybody. You got to come back tomorrow and see how it plays out, if that's indeed what happens here in our top 8. All right, everyone, it's time for the big announcement. Cedric Phillips here with our top 8.
Thank you so much, Maria. We are here at MagicCon Las Vegas for World Championship 30. It's been a heck of an event. We've got 15, 16, 17,000 people playing Magic in this convention center. It's frankly kind of unbelievable, but within this gigantic event, we had a little over 100 players qualify for, one could argue, the most important World Championship of all time, number 30. But now we are down to just 8 that'll be taking the Sunday stage to crown the next Magic the Gathering World Champion. So without any further ado, it is time to announce our top 8. In first place from the United States, Seth Manfield. In second place from the United States, Quinn Tonoli. In third place from Portugal, Marcio Carvalho. In fourth place from Canada, Ha Bam! In fifth place from Spain, Javier Dominguez. In sixth place from Japan, Yoshihiko Ikawa. In seventh place from the United States, Max Rappaport. And in eighth place, to round out our top 8 at World Championship 30, he is the German Juggernaut from Germany, Kai Budde! Ladies and gentlemen, your top 8 at World Championship 30!
exciting here at World Championship 30. You are not gonna miss any of this coming up tomorrow for Top 8 Sunday. Some new up-and-comers, Monty, and some of the greatest to ever play the game. So very exciting. Everyone, your Top 8. There they are with their records here in the tournament. We have former world champions. We have Pro Tour champions. We have players who, like said, that they're just playing for fun. They qualified for the World Championship like hot bomb. And here they are in our Top 8. Let's take a look at our leaderboard and find out where we are at the end of the Swiss portion of our tournament. There you see your Top 8, of course, and indeed your Top 16. Your thoughts, Monty?
Just incredible stuff. I think the fact that 2 of the 3 Pro Tour champions from this year are in the Top 8 of the World Championship is already just really mind-boggling to think about. But also 3 previous world champions trying to become the second person to get it done twice. We have people who have finished as runner-up in the World Championship.
Yes.
Javier, Marcio, twice trying to get it done. It's just the number of storylines in this Top 8 is already just out of this world. And then you add on to it, Kai Budde. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You almost couldn't ask for a better Top 8. This is just incredible. So wonderful to see him here in our Top 8, having an awesome time here this weekend. He was hoping for a Top 30. Well, he's got a Top 8 at least. Our world champion back in 1999, Monty. Can he possibly do it again here in 2024? The whole weekend has been so exciting so far, and we are not done. But we're going to start right now with your card of the day.
Okay, card of the day. There's been a lot of excitement, a lot of really sweet cards, but for me, it's Glissa Sunslayer. We saw Seth play this card, built his deck really around it. He was the first player into our Top 8. We saw Marcio get the job done with it, and this card just does so much. 3 mana 3/3 with First Strike and Death Touch means that it's basically unblockable in combat. But also those abilities mean you have to block it. You can't let this card hit you. There's just too much value in this little Phyrexian
You can't block it, and
zombie.
you can't let it through. You can't win.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, that makes it a very good card of the day. What about player of the day, Monty? Who have you chosen?
Well, come on. It has to be Seth Manfield. He dominated this event into our Top 8, lost 1 time, and I was like, okay, that was day 1. Day 2, I'm not going to do that again. I'd like to finish as quickly as possible and just have a nice, relaxed road. Look at this. Day 1, he lost in the 2nd round. He started off 1-1, and then that was it. For the rest of the day, he was in the zone. Seth Manfield, just an absolute beast. Already a world champion, already a Pro Tour champion this year, and he's back as the first seed in our Top 8.
Very exciting. Seth Manfield, our player of the day. We had plenty of great matches in the feature match area all day long, but what is your choice for match of the day, Monty?
Well, this one felt nearly impossible to choose, but ultimately I had to go with Kai Budde against Marcio Carvalho. The first win and in for Kai Budde here against Marcio, and just 2 absolute legends of the game. And this match was went the full distance, just so tight, and ultimately it was Marcio getting the job done and locking up his spot in the Top 8. I believe we set his 4th World Championship Top 8, and he's already lost in the finals twice. So the fact that he got the job there, you can see how much it means to him to make it back there and get 1 more shot at this. He said, just give me 1 and I'll stop playing in these.
Stop coming. It was great. Oh, wonderful match of the day. I was on the edge of my seat that entire match. It was fantastic. If you didn't catch it, you got to go back and watch the VODs. All right, one more time. Let's celebrate our Top 8 here at World Championship 30. There they are on your screen. Congratulations to all of these players here at World Championship 30. They'll be back doing battle in Standard tomorrow. You don't want to miss it, everybody. Come on back. The broadcast is going to start 1 hour earlier, and we're going to play Standard single elimination. Remember that. So edge of your seat viewing all day long. There are the times on your screen. And hey, guess what? We're not done with more awesome magic that we are going to bring you. We're going to now be rating the Ultimate Guard stream because if you saw it yesterday, they drafted Vintage Cube in real life and got to keep the cards, and now they're going to play with those cards. And the winner takes home the ones they didn't draft. So it's pretty awesome stuff. So we're going to raid them, so check that out. But for us, the crowd is going wild here at the Las Vegas Convention Center. They are excited for our top 8 tomorrow, and so are we. Check out the players we'll be watching do battle tomorrow. All of the fans here ready to come back and see all of the action here from the Sunday stage at World Championship 30. Well, we opened the doors to the House of Horror here in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada this weekend with 113 of the best players in the world ready to fight their way to victory through the haunted hallways of the murderous mansion that is Duskmorn. 57 brave combatants came back for more on day 2 of competition, but much like a horror movie, by the end of the day, only a few would remain standing. It was an exciting morning of draft as we got to see greats of the game clash over and over again in the feature match area, proving why Limited is such an incredible and thrilling format. Then, of course, it was off to standard as the feature match area got ever more crowded with big plays and even bigger names. But as dusk fell upon Duskmorn, only 8 survivors were left standing, among them some up-and-comers eager to make their name, and some of the greatest to ever play the game, including Kai Budde, who won this thing back in 1999. Be sure to come back tomorrow morning for our top 8 as we fight for the right to 2 transformative titles, Best in the World and Player of the Year. World Championship Sunday, where here within the halls of Duskmorn, the Sunday Scaries have a whole new meaning. See you then.